This is FAISAL Khan for Lights Out in association with Shamrock Boxing, and over the phone with me, I'm delighted to be joined by Junior Witter. Junior, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Yeah, excellent. It's an honour to have you join us today for an interview. So obviously, we'll just start the interview talking about the current situation we've got going down in the world at the moment, the coronavirus. First of all, Junior, your thoughts on the current situation that we're facing, and obviously your thoughts on the UK lockdown as right now.
My thoughts are same as everyone. Can't wait till it's over. I mean, I want to get back to my normal life. You know what I mean? Run the gym, run the business, get back to normality. Being able to leave the house and go where I want when I want.
Yeah, 100%. I think we all feel like that, Junior. Just how you like managing to handle the current situation and being on the current lockdown?
In some ways, it's a bit like being at camp, where you, like, when I used to be in camp in the old days, we'd go away, we'd go training camp, and we locked ourselves off from the rest of the world. There wasn't social media, there wasn't a lifeline, phone lines went dead. It was just me, whoever I was training with, the coach, doing the sessions, and that was it. And camp got better, obviously, over the years. But now I'm in a situation, I was thinking, well, I'm in the house, there's me, the missus, got little bits to do around the house, go for a run, go for a walk, and that's about all I can do. So just make the best of the situation you've got.
The other night it was announced we will be put on a lockdown, and we are currently going through this lockdown. What was your thoughts on the Prime Minister's announcement the other night? Do you reckon this lockdown is something that should have been done perhaps maybe a couple of weeks ago to perhaps stop the current situation that we're going through from escalating?
If I was going to say anything, it should have been put down in London first before the rest of the country.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main thing with the lockdown itself. We all knew it was coming. I don't see it lasting any less than 2 months. I really don't. I just think we'll do 3 weeks and then they'll just extend it for another 3. And it's going to be at least 6 weeks, 2 months. I don't see it being any less than that. And it's just, I've just come to the realisation you've got to do what's best for the country, for your family, for your health.
So yeah, I 100% agree, and obviously it is tough times ahead, but all we can do is ride through the current situation that we're going through, and hopefully get back to normality, which you know is a really beautiful thing, and you're kind of missing our daily life to life routine. Let's talk a bit about yourself, Junior. It's been 5 years since you've retired. You retired in 2015. What's been going on in your life for the last 5 years? What have you been doing since you've left the boxing ring?
Well, my last fight was 2015. I didn't really retire till the beginning of 2019. Mm-hmm. I was still fit. I was in shape. I was training twice a day. And I was looking for a fight. Mm-hmm. But that didn't happen in that time frame. The champions who were about didn't want to face me, so fights never happened. And since then, well, even within that time, I started being an amateur coach. I was the head coach at the Ingle Gym for a couple of years. Broke up with them now. Not broke up, just I've set my own gym up. I've got 20 odd amateur boxers, some of the lads who train. I've got 2 professional fighters, Dom Hunt and Matt Hunter. Matt had his pro debut beginning of this month. He's buzzing, he's boxed, he's won, he's itching to go, and it's like, yeah, we're now on lockdown. We can't do anything for the next how many months. We don't know when we're going to fight again. So I've done that, and then I've got Switch Fit Customs, where I'm customising boxing boots, personalised, so you bring a pair of box hogs, and we'll customise and make them unique to you. We'll do the same with Nikes, a few different brands we work with. And then on top of that, if you've got a pair of training gloves you want your name on it, we can put your name on them. So that's all started up in the last 18 months, 2 years. So life's been busy in other ways.
It's good to hear that you're keeping busy, that you're still on the boxing scene and training, up and coming fighters. You had a fantastic career winning the British, Commonwealth, European titles, and of course 2006 against Marcus Cordy, you captured the WBC super lightweight title. When you look back on your career, can you say you achieved everything you set out to do?
Oh, definitely. I achieved way more than I expected, in some respects. As you start off and you have your small dreams, and as you get into it and you get to them dreams, and it becomes like, I'm definitely going to win this British title. I'm going to win the Commonwealth, the European, I'm going to do that. And as I've got there, it's like, I'm going to win the world title. And your dreams progress as your skills progress. And you set yourself little goals and you achieve them goals and you move on to the next goals. And I got the WBC world title. It's the best you can get.
Yes, 100%.
I mean, I'm the only British fighter to win the Lonsdale belt outright before having to defend it. Because I was champion for 3 years and they couldn't find anybody who would get in the ring with me. Or they would let get in the ring with me to defend it against. So I know I've achieved. I'm very happy and confident and proud of my achievements as a boxer.
It was definitely a great career that you had. We had watching some of your fights over the last few nights, definitely very inspirational. Whenever someone speaks about Junior Witter, we have to mention that you was a part of the iconic Ingles gym. You came up at a great time in the Ingles gym, being mentored by the late Brendan Ingle and his son Dominic. You also trained on a daily basis with legends such as, Johnny Nelson and Prince Nassim Hamid. Junior, what was it like for you to be a part of the iconic Ingles gym and be trained by the likes of Brendan Ingle and Dom Ingle?
When I look back, it was surreal at the time. It was brilliant because I walked into that gym and there were champions left, right, and centre. And I walked in, there were champions about, and as I came through, we got more and more champions. It was brilliant. Johnny was flying. John Thaxton was a brilliant fighter. You know what I mean? And he probably didn't get as much credit as he deserved, but he did brilliant. He was like, he won the British, he won the European, he would do the I think IBF and Continental champion. Kelly Reid was flying, and then on top of that we had fighters now, and I'm just thinking, we're champions now. I'm thinking, if you'd have walked into our gym back then, you'd have been nobody. Because we had that much talent. The kids who we looked at as just someone average, we had Andrew Facey, who won an English title. I think he had it for a couple of years. But he wasn't looked as a superstar. But if you'd have put him back right, if he was here right now, he would be a superstar. Because he was that good. But realistically, because of the amount of talent that we're about, unfortunately, some of them got overlooked. But we all got his opportunities, and it was just a brilliant time to be in that gym.
Definitely, when you watch documentaries and you watch Sky Sports stuff that have got to do with the Ingles gym, and you watch it, you can just tell that the atmosphere there is something else, and it really is a gym that has produced, champions, has produced legends over the years, such as yourself, and you shared the ring with some great fighters such as Zab Judah, David Alexander, Tim Bradley, Andrei Kotelnik. In your career, Junior, who would you say was technically the best fighter you fought?
Technically? It's hard one because, you look at David Alexander, he's technically really good.
Yeah.
So you compare Devin Alexander to Vivian Harris.
Luminaries.
And Vivian Harris, he had the power with everything he did. Yeah? Phenomenal puncher. Yeah? Very good with what he did. Whereas Alexander didn't have that range of power. So I'd probably go with Alexander on that. Because technically he was just on that level above them, I would say.
So you would say Devin Alexander was the best that you shared the ring with?
No, because boxing is more than one thing. It's more than speed, it's more than power, it's more than accuracy. It's a whole combination of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at Zab Judah. Zab Judah was brilliant.
Yeah.
But he wasn't the same technical level as Vivian Harris. Mm-hmm. And he wasn't the same technical level as Devin Alexander. But I'm not saying he couldn't have beat them. Mm-hmm. But the night I beat Vivian Harris, I think he would have beat anybody else in the world. That particular night, he was phenomenal.
You mentioned your Zab Judah, and after your fight with Zab Judah, you had to fight another 18 times before getting another shot at the world title. Why was it? I've always been wanting to know why was that long a wait for yourself to fight 18 times before you got another world title shot.
The politics of boxing. It's the politics of boxing, which is crazy when you look at it. Realistically, my 10th fight, my fight number 10, I boxed Jan Bergman, was the IBF number 3 in the world. It was his warm-up for his world title fight, because he was supposed to box Zab Judah for the world title straight after me. Yeah? I beat him in 98. Yeah? Mm-hmm. I didn't box for a British title till 2002. So 4 years after beating the number 3 in the world, they decided I was good enough to box for a British title.
And you
how's that work out?
Yeah, I know, 100%. Yeah? I agree with you on that. Do you reckon boxing? Sorry, Junior, continue with what you were saying.
I look and I just think it's understanding the game, understanding the finances and the business side of it, being in the right place at the right time, and in a lot of respects, I wasn't. I had to fight for everything I got. I had to earn it the hard way. So when you look at it like that, I wasn't given anything. I worked extremely hard for everything I got. And in ways, I'm happy with that, because it proved to me that I was the best in Britain. I was the best in Europe. I was the best of the world champions at that time.
You mentioned...
I'm happy with what I achieved.
You mentioned boxing politics and obviously what goes on behind closed doors. What you went through having to, wait after having to fight another 18 times just to get a world title shot. Do you reckon that's a continuing problem that we're having in boxing these days?
I think it's still a problem. And there is certain fighters who've gone through it and are going through it. Dillian Whyte.
Yes.
Dillian Whyte right now is just ridiculous. He's been number 1 contender for 2 years. For over 2 years. He should have had his title fight. Win, lose, or draw. He should have been. Even if he's got no chance. He's got no chance. He's put himself in that position. Mm-hmm. He's beat the other mandatories. He's wonders. He's in that position. He deserves a shot.
Yeah.
He had Kell Brook boxing Jojo Dan. Who's Jojo Dan? Mm-hmm. No one's ever heard of him. He hasn't done anything since. But he got himself in that position, so he deserved his shot. So the IBS said they had to give him a shot. So I'm like, well, we don't give him much of a chance, but he's got himself in that position, deserves his shot. And that's what Dillian Whyte's at. So it still happens, but now, whereas when I came through, there was no social media.
Yeah.
You didn't have a. There was no. If your promoter wasn't big enough or behind you enough to push you to get them title fights, you had no chance of getting them title fights without an extremely long wait and not getting beat like I did. But now, because of social media, because of the way the world is, you can say your piece, and then more people can actually hear your story and get behind you and push them more to actually give you your title shot.
During your career, one fight that the British public demanded was yourself against Ricky Hatton. I remember you did an interview with Sky Sports, I believe it was about 4 years ago, and you said after Ricky fought John Faxton, you thought that the fight would happen, and you also thought that Ricky wanted the fight. That never proved to be the case. We've got a current situation with Amir Khan and Kell Brook, you know, where it looks as if
he's gone.
Yeah,
that is history. Both.
Julie, can you just clarify why
Amir Khan's finished?
Okay.
On that level for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that fight, Amir Khan's gone past his best. Kell Brook's gone past his best, and I think when they were both at their peak, it was a very good, very interesting fight that a lot of people want to see.
Yeah. Except
Amir Khan did not want the fight. Kell Brook would have swam through nails to get that fight. Amir Khan did not want the fight, so the fight did not happen. Which is when I boxed Ricky Hatton, because there was a time when Ricky Hatton wanted to fight with me, and that time passed very quickly. Then after that, he thought of every excuse for that fight not to happen. Yeah? And because of the politics of boxing and finances, it didn't happen. Amir Khan, very similar position. Except for he didn't want the fight, so now unlike any other sport, realistically, you can't force two people to fight.
Yes.
Football, you can force Man United to play Man City because they're going to get financially penalised. Mm-hmm. They'll get kicked out of the league. That can't happen in boxing. So therefore,
it is a massive shame.
It's a different situation.
It's a massive shame that obviously we're not going to be. It's likely we won't see Amir Khan fight Kell Brook, and it's obviously a massive shame that we never saw yourself fight Ricky Hatton. What would you believe is the number one reason why Ricky Hatton did not want to fight you?
His style. I was the completely wrong style for him. I had speed, I moved, and I was powerful. I came from unorthodox angles. And the best situation would be for him, yeah, I make him look bad, and somehow he managed to stop me. But the reality of that was very slim. Because I was strong on the inside, I was strong on the outside. If my boxing abilities, my technical boxing abilities, just to move around, just pick off, a bit like AJ did in his last fight.
Against Ruiz, yeah.
Yeah. My ability to do that far passes his ability to corner me. So if I didn't want to get cornered, I just wanted to hit and run, I would have been able to do that. I wouldn't have done that, but I had the ability to do it.
Yes.
So therefore, when you look at it, you think, it's a fight they didn't need. The money that was around him and he was generating, he was making, financially, I understand him not wanting to go through with it. And if you were his manager's promoter, his team, well, that's life. He's got to deal with what happens.
Yes, it is a massive shame that we never got to see that fight, because it would have made a great fight. You know, two of Britain's best at the time going at it.
Listen, now we're talking two of the best light welterweights in British history.
Yes,
actually, probably the best two British in British history. The best two, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When we talk about British lightweights, British light welterweights, you know, another big name that comes to mind is, of course, Josh Taylor, who's had a phenomenal career so far, and you know he went one better at the end of 2019, defeating Regis Progress to win the World Boxing Super Series. What's your thoughts on Josh Taylor at the moment? What else can you see him achieving? And you know, he's said many times he's likely to step up to 147 in welterweight. You know, where do you think? What else do you think Josh Taylor's capable of achieving in his career, Junior?
it's all a case of who's around at whatever particular time you fight.
Mm-hmm.
And do you fight the best, or do you fight the person who's going to make you look the best? Certain fighters will give certain other fighters trouble. And other fighters, they'll just wipe the floor with them, even though they're good boxers. So, how far can he go? Just as far as his determination and his motivation, and what his motivation is. If his motivation is just to look good and avoid the best, like Mayweather at the end of his career, he can go on for a long time. If his idea realistic is to go out there and fight the best and be the best of the weight, it becomes a different reality. I mean, there's some really good light welterweights. I mean, welterweights out there right now, and I just think that's a hard mix. So you look at the management team and how he plays the management team, how much he's actually in charge and how much they're actually in charge. So his potential is still very big. Because of the finances of boxing, we'll have to wait and see. It's where he goes in each particular fight. You've got to take it one step at a time.
You mentioned obviously fighting the best, and when you look at the best of the 147 welterweight division right now, it is the three champions in Terence Crawford, Manny Pacquiao, and of course Errol Spence Jr. The step up is obviously for Josh Taylor is probably inevitable. It's more than likely it will happen. How do you see him getting on with them three, because they do currently hold the belts in the world title belts in the welterweight division right now?
If I was him and I was stepping up right now, I'd aim for Manny Pacquiao, because it's going to get you the credibility of Manny Pacquiao for what he's done, this and that. Really and truly, he's not the man he was. And I just think he has been beat a few times. He's been beat recently. Make sure you do what you got to do. You make sure your fight is actually safe. All the stipulations are in place. There can be no cheating. And I'm very confident to beat him.
You reckon Josh Taylor's very confident? You're confident Josh Taylor could beat Manny Pacquiao?
Yeah, I don't think Manny Pacquiao, when he was lightweight, I think was a phenomenal fighter. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's the fighter he was. And I just think that you've got to do the same thing what Mayweather did. Make sure that everything's taken care of.
I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see Josh Taylor move up to 147 some time in the near future. Junior, is there anything else you'd like to add before we end the interview?
There's some very good fights coming up. I can't wait for the season to get kicked back in.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got two fights coming through. Matt Hunt and Dom Hunt. They're on the British title hunt. And they're two fighters that will come through in the next 2 years.
Matt Hunter and Dom Hunter, will definitely keep an eye out for them. Junior, listen, we just want to thank you very much for your time. It's an honour to speak to you. It's an honour to finally grab an interview with you. And hopefully one day we look forward to coming down to Sheffield and grabbing a face-to-face interview when all this current situation ends.
Yes, indeed. Be all good.
Junior Witter, thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much.
And we look forward to speaking to you at some time in the near future.
Cheers.
Junior Witter, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.